My beloved child, I am never still, even when all appears quiet. You may think I have withdrawn from your days, that your prayers drift unanswered through the emptiness, but I am working in places you cannot yet see. I move beneath the soil of your life like roots deepening unseen, drawing water from the depths, so that when the season of growth comes, your faith will stand firm and your peace will not wither in the sun. You look for signs, for sounds, for movements that prove my hand is near. But I do not always announce my works with noise or spectacle. I build strength in silence, I shape your heart in stillness, and I prepare miracles in the waiting. When you were younger, perhaps you measured my nearness by how swiftly prayers were answered. But now, as your years have seasoned your soul, I invite you to a deeper knowing, a faith that does not require noise to believe. I am teaching you the language of quiet trust, the art of resting your heart in the unseen. Every delay that frustrates you, every closed door that stirs confusion, every silence that seems to echo too long, all are instruments in my workshop. I use them not to wound, but to refine, not to distance, but to draw you into a deeper reliance on me. There are moments when you look at the years behind you and wonder where certain promises went. You remember what you prayed for, what you hoped might unfold, and you feel a sadness for what never came to be. But I tell you, nothing in your story is wasted. Every prayer uttered in tears has been received. Every moment of faithfulness, even when it felt unseen, is recorded in eternity. The quiet seasons are not empty. They are sacred. They are the slow weaving of a tapestry whose beauty will only be revealed when you step back and see how each thread, even the dark ones, forms part of the masterpiece I am creating in you. You must understand, my child, that silence is not absence. When a seed lies beneath the soil, there is no sound of growth. Yet the earth is alive with motion. Inside that hidden place, life is breaking open, preparing to rise toward the light. In the same way, I am cultivating something within you that cannot yet be seen. The harvest of peace, the maturity of wisdom, the fruit of endurance. These do not sprout in noise and haste. They grow slowly, quietly, in the soil of surrender. When you face long stretches of waiting, you may think I have turned away, but often I am simply deepening your roots. If I gave you everything at once, your spirit would not learn to hold the weight of it. Patience and faith are muscles. They must be exercised in the tension of waiting. Do not despise this time of silence, for it is holy ground. You walk within the workshop of heaven, where I am crafting the unseen. There are angels attending to you even now. They move quietly, adjusting the circumstances of your life to align with my perfect plan. Some friendships fade away not because of loss, but because I am protecting you from misdirection. Some desires fall silent in your heart, not because they were wrong, but because I am replacing them with something greater. You may not see my hand, but you feel the pull, the gentle redirection of my spirit. That tug is me leading you through fog and uncertainty toward a place of peace. When you sit alone in your home and the evening light stretches long, do not believe that solitude means abandonment. I am there, in the stillness beside you. I sit with you as the clock ticks softly, as the world slows, as memories rise like gentle waves. I see your longing for reconciliation, your prayers for loved ones, your hope that time might heal what has been broken. Trust that I am working in those very places. Even when hearts seem far apart, I am cultivating the soil for peace to take root. Reconciliation is often a slow bloom, unfolding one petal at a time. You may ask, Lord, why do you stay silent when I ache for direction? And I say to you, my silence is not indifference, it is instruction. I am teaching you to discern my presence not only in miracles, but in the quiet breath between them. My silence stretches your hearing so you may recognize my whisper. For I do not always thunder from the heavens. I often speak in the soft rhythm of your heartbeat, in the calm that settles when you choose to trust me again. In this stage of your life, you carry wisdom shaped by years of walking through valleys and climbing hills of faith. Yet still, I draw you deeper. The silent workshop of heaven is never closed. As long as you breathe, I am shaping something new within you. The world tells you that your most fruitful years are behind you, but I tell you, your most sacred fruit is ripening now. It is the fruit of peace, gentleness, and divine intimacy, the kind that comes only from those who have waited long enough to know my timing is perfect. So, when the night feels long and the answers slow, remember this: I am not delaying to punish you. I am perfecting you. I am steadying your heart so that when the dawn breaks, you will recognize the light not as chance, but as my faithfulness fulfilled. My silence is the canvas upon which I paint trust. My stillness is the soil from which peace will rise. Walk gently, my beloved, and do not rush the work I am doing. Even in silence, I am forming songs of joy. Even in stillness, I am weaving redemption. The unseen is not the unmade. It is the unfinished, still being shaped by my hands. And when the time is right, when your spirit is ready and your faith mature, what I have been crafting in secret will bloom openly, radiant with my glory. You are in the silent workshop of heaven, and every moment I am still at work. My beloved, you often measure blessing by what your hands can hold: health, family, comfort, or security. But I tell you now, the truest gift I give cannot be counted or touched. It is not the home you built, the wealth you saved, or even the prayers that found quick answers. My greatest gift is the journey of being with me, the slow unfolding of a heart that learns to walk beside mine. The treasures of heaven are not stored in vaults or bank accounts. They are stored in moments of surrender, in trust formed through trials, in peace found while waiting, and in the quiet companionship we share in the in-between spaces of life. When I walk with you, I do not promise that every desire will be fulfilled as you imagine. What I promise instead is my presence, and with that comes all that your soul truly needs. You see, possessions fade and health shifts like shadows in the evening light, but my presence remains unchanging. Even when time has worn your body and life feels slower, my spirit does not slow. I move steadily beside you, whispering through each breath that you are not forgotten, and that every step with me carries eternal weight. Many of my children chase what they can see, thinking joy comes from accumulation, but the truth is simpler and holier. Joy springs from communion, with me, with my peace, with my truth. The more you release, the more space you create for me to dwell within you. When I ask you to loosen your grip on what you possess, it is not to strip you of comfort, but to free you from the burden of control. What you own can become what owns you if you let it. But when you let me become your portion, you will find that nothing in this world compares to the fullness of being with me. I know there are moments when you sit quietly and think of what once was, people who have gone home before you, dreams that never bloomed, or paths that changed when you least expected it. You may look back with a sigh and think, I had so much once. Where did it go? Yet I tell you, the beauty of your life has not diminished. The treasure of your years is not what you've lost, but what you've learned. Every hardship has carved depth into your soul. Every season of lack has taught your heart to rely on me more fully. And that, my child, is a greater possession than anything this earth could offer. There was a time when I walked among my children in the garden, and all they needed was my presence. They were not rich in things, but they were rich in me. I am calling you back to that kind of richness, the kind that does not depend on the state of your body or the weight of your wallet, but on the stillness of your heart resting in me. You may not realize it, but every time you speak to me in your quiet moments, every time you whisper gratitude even when life feels uncertain, you are receiving the greatest gift of all. Sometimes you pray for new opportunities or for doors to open quickly, but remember, my child, that timing is not a punishment, it is preparation. When I delay an answer, I am not withholding, I am shaping. I may be guiding you away from a lesser blessing so that you are ready for the one that lasts. The true gift I give is not the opportunity itself, it is the discernment you learn while waiting for it. It is the deep knowing that I am your guide, not the chance you seek. Do not fear the moments when I strip away what once gave you security. I never remove without replacing it with something better, though it may not look better in earthly eyes. Sometimes I remove comfort so you may gain courage. Sometimes I close one chapter so you can grow roots of resilience in another. Every subtraction in your life has a divine purpose, to reveal that my presence is your only constant, your eternal possession that cannot be taken away. You have lived long enough to know that life changes quickly. The hands that once worked hard now rest more often. The faces you once saw daily now visit less. The strength you once relied on sometimes wavers. Yet even as all these things shift, I remain unchanged. My love does not age. My voice does not weaken. My promises do not expire. The older you grow, the closer you are to the eternal joy that will never fade. Every day that passes is a step nearer to the fullness of the gift I have been preparing for you since before time began, the joy of dwelling with me forever. My dear one, do not underestimate the holiness of your present moment. When you rise and greet the day with gratitude, when you smile at a stranger, when you pray for someone quietly without recognition, when you choose peace instead of worry, you are already living in the abundance of my kingdom. These small acts are evidence that my spirit lives within you. The world may not call that success, but I call it treasure. You may think that because the years have slowed you, your purpose is smaller now. But know this, I do some of my greatest work in the later chapters of a soul's life. When you have less to prove and more time to reflect, your heart becomes fertile ground for my wisdom. Your prayers now carry the weight of experience. They echo with the sound of faith that has endured storms and still believes. That faith is precious to me. It is more valuable than gold. So rest in my promise. You are not measured by what you possess, but by how deeply you walk with me. The unseen companionship we share is the treasure of eternity. I have been with you in laughter, in loss, in nights of questioning, and mornings of renewal. All of it, every sigh, every prayer, every moment of hope, is part of the sacred journey of learning to be with me. You are not missing out on blessings, my beloved. You are living within them. For the truest blessing is not the possession, but the presence, not the gift, but the giver. And I am here, always, your portion, your peace, your everlasting treasure. My beloved child, I know the ache that rises in your heart when a door closes unexpectedly. You stand before it, hands trembling on the handle, wondering why I allowed it to shut. You look back at what was familiar, what felt safe, and you feel the sting of disappointment. Yet I tell you this, when a door closes, it is not my rejection, it is my redirection. I do not take away what is good. I lead you toward what is better, though you may not yet see its shape through the mist. Every closed path is a chapter turned by my hand, every delay a whisper that I am still writing your story. You see only the moment in front of you, but I see the full landscape of your journey. I see where each road leads, where hidden dangers wait, where weariness would overcome you if you continued on the wrong trail. When I close a path, I am protecting you from what could wound your spirit or drain your strength. I am not punishing you for your desires. I am purifying them, shaping them to align with the rhythm of my will. There are blessings that can only bloom after detours, and you are walking one of them even now. There were times in your past when you thought a door closing meant failure. Perhaps it was a relationship that did not mend, a dream that never came to life, a move you hoped for that never happened. Yet if you look closely now, you can see how my hand was quietly guiding you away from what might have harmed you. The job you did not receive spared you from burdens you were never meant to carry. The person who walked away made space for a peace that would have been lost otherwise. The season that ended forced you to lean on me more deeply. I was never far. I was always just beyond the door, turning the lock with tenderness, saying, "Trust me, my child, this is not the end. It is the beginning of something you cannot yet name." You have learned through the years that life's path is not a straight road. It twists, turns, rises, and falls, and sometimes it narrows so much you feel you can barely pass through. But even then, I am setting the pace. I never rush you forward unprepared. When I close one path, I am preparing another, stronger, richer, more aligned with the person you are becoming. You must remember that I am more concerned with who you are than where you go. I shape character before I reveal destination. When your heart grieves what has been lost, bring that grief to me. Do not hide it or pretend it doesn't ache. I understand the sorrow of letting go. I too have watched my children turn from me, and yet I love them still. When I close a door in your life, I do not expect you to be happy about it immediately. I only ask that you trust me enough to keep walking. The pain of release will give way to peace if you keep your eyes on me. There is a deeper wisdom that comes with time, and you, my beloved, are walking in that wisdom now. You know that some blessings only appear after the waiting. You have learned that every change carries both loss and grace. When a familiar path fades, it is an invitation to rediscover my presence in new ways. The world may tell you that change at your age is hard, that new beginnings are behind you, but I tell you this, as long as you have breath, I am still unfolding my purposes in you. You may not travel as far as you once did, but your spirit can still journey deeper. Every closed door opens the way to a more intimate walk with me. Do not fear the unknown path that now stretches ahead. I walk before you, placing each stone, marking each turn. What feels uncertain to you is already known to me. Sometimes I will let you see only one step at a time so you learn to trust my timing. The light I give is enough for the moment you are in. Do not demand to see the whole road, for if I revealed every bend, you might rush ahead and miss what I wish to teach you along the way. When doors close, do not fill the silence with worry. Instead, fill it with worship. The sound of praise in uncertainty shakes the heavens, for it shows that you have learned to love me for who I am, not just for what I give. Every time you lift your voice in faith, even with trembling lips, you invite my peace to settle around you. Worship turns the locked doors of disappointment into gateways of revelation. You begin to see not what you've lost, but what I am forming anew, my dear one. I know you long for clarity. I know how much you yearn for signs that you are still on the right path. Let me assure you, if you are walking with me, you cannot be lost. Even when the scenery changes, even when the familiar fades, my hand is still guiding. I am not only the God of open doors, I am the God who holds the keys. Trust that I know which doors must stay closed for your good, and which ones will open when your spirit is ready to enter. When you look back years from now, you will see how my wisdom was woven through every turn. You will see that what felt like an ending was actually preparation for new life. Your story is not defined by the doors that closed, but by the faith that carried you forward. You are walking through the sacred in-between, between what was and what will be, and I am right there with you, holding your hand through the mist. So rest in this truth, my beloved. Closed doors are not my silence, they are my signatures. They are marks of my protection, reminders that I am involved in every detail of your life. Do not mourn what has shut, rejoice that I am guiding you to what is sure. Each step, each pause, each redirection is part of my eternal choreography of grace. When paths change, walk with confidence. When doors close, lift your eyes to me, for I am already preparing the next opening, perfectly timed, perfectly placed, perfectly meant for you. My beloved child, come close now and listen, for this is one of my most tender invitations. I call you not to withdraw from life, but to enter into rest, the kind of rest that restores your soul and reminds you who you are in me. The world often tells you that rest is for the weary, for those who have reached the end of usefulness. But I tell you, rest is not retreat. It is renewal. It is not the end of purpose, but the breathing space where purpose is refined. I see the weight you have carried through the years, the responsibilities, the unspoken worries, the quiet tears shed in the stillness of the night. You have poured yourself out for others, labored through seasons of waiting, and held faith even when answers seemed far away. Now, I am calling you to a different kind of strength, one that does not come from striving, but from stillness. For in stillness, you will know that I am God and that I am still at work, even when you rest. Rest has always been sacred to me. When I created the heavens and the earth, I wove rest into the very fabric of existence. On the seventh day, I paused, not because I was tired, but because I desired to delight in what was made. Rest is an act of worship, my child. It is how you honor my sovereignty. When you rest, you declare that the world does not depend on your effort, but on my sustaining power. You acknowledge that I am enough. There was a time when you were younger, when you believed that being still meant falling behind. You pushed forward, trying to hold everything together, to meet expectations, to prove your worth through action. But now, as your days move with a gentler rhythm, I invite you to see the truth that has always been there. Your worth was never in your doing. It has always been in your being. You are loved not for what you accomplish, but because you are mine. When your body slows and your strength fades, do not think of it as loss. It is transformation. Just as the seasons change the color of the trees, so do the years shape your soul for a new kind of fruitfulness. In rest, I teach you to listen more deeply. I teach you to see beauty in small things, the warmth of the morning light, the laughter of a grandchild, the softness of a prayer whispered in faith. These are not idle moments, they are sacred encounters with my presence. There is a kind of rest the world does not understand. It is the rest that flows from trust. When you release your worries into my hands, when you stop trying to fix what only I can heal, you enter into this rest. It is not an escape from responsibility. It is the surrender of control. I know how hard that is for you, especially when you have spent years caring for others, holding families together, making decisions, and keeping faith alive. But now, I am asking you to lay those burdens at my feet and breathe. I am strong enough to hold what you cannot. Sometimes rest means simply sitting with me without needing to speak. It means allowing my presence to fill the silence until peace begins to settle deep in your bones. You do not have to earn this peace, my child. It is my gift to you. Let go of the fear that being still means being forgotten. I never forget those I love. When you pause, I draw even closer. I wrap you in my gentleness like a soft blanket around your soul. You may look at your life now and wonder if your purpose has passed, if the most meaningful work is behind you. But do not believe that lie. Rest does not remove purpose. It reveals it. In this season, your greatest calling is to reflect my peace to those around you. Your calm spirit, your quiet faith, your ability to find beauty in simplicity. These are powerful testimonies of my grace. Younger hearts look to you and see what it means to endure with hope. You are still planting seeds with your presence, still watering the world with your prayers. When you rest in me, your heart becomes a sanctuary. It is from that sanctuary that wisdom flows, compassion deepens, and grace expands. You do not have to travel far to make a difference now. Your very peace becomes a light to others. Let that be your ministry, the ministry of presence, the ministry of peace. The world is loud and hurried, but you, my beloved, are called to be still and radiant. There will come a day when you will enter into the fullness of rest, the eternal rest I have prepared since before time began. But until then, learn to rest in small, holy ways each day. Rest in my word. Rest in gratitude. Rest in the assurance that you are loved completely. Even as the world spins around you, find stillness in the rhythm of my grace.